We're here with Samsung's F8000, its flagship TV for 2013. As you can see, their 2013 design is really sleek. They've redesigned the stand, which is an arc design, so most of the stand is actually sitting behind the TV, so you can just see the 2 feet at the front. Like their 2012 models, the bezel is very thin. It's actually 4.7 millimeters. They've also got the camera that featured on last year's models, but this time you can actually snap it back out of the way. It doesn't just look good at the front. On the back, Samsung have got something called clean back technology, and that means that all the ports and connections are actually hidden away really nicely. So even if you go around behind it, you're not going to see any sort of messy look. It's also got a silver bezel around the edge of the screen, so if you're going to wall mount it on the wall, it will just look like a picture frame. Samsung have also redesigned the remote control. As you can see, it's really small and light, and that's because it's got a touchpad in the centre, which means you don't need quite as many buttons as you would on a standard remote control. Now this remote will come with all 7 and 8 series models, but you'll also get a standard remote control, so if you don't get on with the touch functionality, you won't have to use it. Now the major change on Samsung's 2013 models is that they've completely redesigned their Smart Hub. It now looks like this. So this is the screen that you'll see when you turn the TV on, and there are 5 different screens that you can swipe through to get to all of your content. So this screen that you'll see when you turn the TV on is essentially the new EPG. So when you turn it on, you can see what channel you're on, what you can watch live, and you've also got 6 programs recommended to you. Now this is based on Samsung's S recommendation feature that kind of looks at what you've watched in the past and will recommend shows to you. You've also got along the bottom programs that are coming up, and instead of sort of telling you what time they start, you can see it's actually telling you how many minutes you've got to go until it starts, so that's quite a handy feature. And for programmes that are on now, Samsung has this handy yellow bar to show you how much of the programme you've missed and how much there still is to go, which is quite a nice feature. So you can use the touchpad remote to swipe through to the next screen. So as you can see, it's a bit like the kind of screen you might see on your mobile phone or a tablet. So it's kind of sort of a feature that you might be used to. And here we've got the apps, so your real traditional smart TV feature there. And you can use the touchpad to kind of swipe through and select the apps. It's also got recommended apps to you at the top here. So the next screen we'll swipe along to is your social network. So this What's Hot panel at the top feeds in recommendations from your friends and family from their social networks. So that's things like YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. You can also video call friends using Skype, using the camera here. And the Skype's got quite a handy feature where you can still have the live TV showing, and you can have a screen showing yourself and the person that you're Skyping, so it doesn't mean you have to completely stop using the TV at the same time. And the remaining 2 screens you can just swipe over to are your photos, videos and music that you can have stored on the TV or in your cloud, and also on-demand movies and TV shows, and again they'll be recommended based on what you've watched previously. So to enable all of this functionality to work seamlessly, what Samsung have done have upgraded the processor from last year's range from a dual-core processor to a quad-core processor. So this should enable you to multitask with speed. So for example, if you were watching TV and you wanted to take a Skype call, it should be able to flick between the 2 really quickly. So the all-new Samsung Smart Hub looks great, but what if you bought a Samsung TV last year? Well, what Samsung have done, have introduced a new Evolution kit. So this is a box that fits into the back of, if you bought a 2012 TV, one of their premium TVs, so that's series 7, 8 and 9, you can actually plug a box that will be available in the first half of this year into the back of your TV, and it will upgrade the Smart Hub to have all the functionality that this TV does. So that's a really great feature. It will cost extra, but we're not sure quite how much yet. So as well as the improvements to the new touchpad remote, Samsung has also made some improvements to the gesture control since the ES8000 of last year. So it's now much more sensitive, and you can use different gestures. So as well as putting your hand up to select, you can also swipe through to the different screens. You can also use 2 hands. So as you can do on a smartphone screen, you can grab a picture and expand it or shrink it. You can also use both your hands to rotate a picture around. Samsung have also upgraded the voice interaction feature. So whereas last year you could give simple commands, this year you can almost talk to your TV, so using natural language to ask it questions, and it will tell you the answers back. So to use the voice control, you just need to push the voice button on your remote. As you can see, it's telling me to speak now. So any recommendations? So as you can see here, it's now recommended me 6 shows that it thinks that I might like to watch. Samsung have also been making improvements to picture quality, and one of them is Samsung's Smart Scene, which means the TV actually recognises what type of content you're watching. So if you're watching a film, for example, and it will optimise the picture settings to show that. So that's a really handy feature. There's also a web clear view feature. So that means even when you're viewing content from online, it should still be really sharp. So the feature aims to optimise pictures and text so it's clearer to view. So often when you're trying to web browse on a TV, the text can be a bit blurry, especially if you're trying to view smaller text. So this should enable you to sort of be able to read it even when you're sitting back on your sofa. Another picture quality improvement is Cinema Black. So what that means is when you're watching a film with a letterbox effect, so that's a black strip at the top and the bottom, the lights are actually turned off behind it. So that means, so often when you watch a film, you'll be turning the lights down. So on some LEDs, the black strips can look a bit grey, but with this new feature, because the light's completely turned off behind it, you should have a much darker experience, so you can just see the film in the centre. We've seen TVs with PVR functions before, but this TV is different. Not only can you watch a TV channel and record it at the same time, you can actually watch one channel and record a different one. And that's because this TV's got 2 tuners. So as you can see right now, we're actually watching 2 different TV shows at the same time. So the TV itself hasn't actually got memory, so you'll be recording onto a USB stick that you plug in around the back. There's also a couple of new ways to use your TV and your mobile phone together. One of them is called Samsung Smart View. Now that's an app that you can download for iOS or for Android, and it'll allow you to watch whatever you're watching on the TV screen on your phone. So that means if you want to pop into another room, so into the kitchen to make a cup of tea, you can take the show with you. If you've got an Android phone, you can also use the second tuner to watch a different show on your phone. So that means if you're having a disagreement about what you want to watch, you can just watch a different channel in another room. We've also got All Share Cast, which kind of works the other way. So whatever you're viewing on your mobile phone, you can then view on your TV screen. So I can go into it now by going to Settings, into More Settings, and then selecting All Share Cast. So as you can see, it's just connecting now. So your TV and your phone just have to be connected to the same wireless network. Okay, so as you can see, what you can see now on the screen is exactly the same as what I've got on my phone here. So you can use that to view anything that you want to view on your phone on the screen. There's something like pictures, for example. So you can see the pictures that I've got here are reflected on the screen. I can even turn the phone and it will do exactly the same on the screen. So you can see it's quite responsive. As soon as I'm moving on here, it's doing exactly the same on the screen. This model's planned to launch in April this year. No pricing's been announced yet, but it will be available in screen sizes from 40 to 75 inches. To find out more about Samsung's TVs for 2013, click on the link below.